Next, we will study the account of Jacob blessing Joseph's two sons. We know that Joseph's firstborn son was Manasseh, and his second son was Ephraim. However, when Jacob blessed them, but lay his right hand on the younger son, Ephraim, he laid his hands on their heads, his right hand on Ephraim, the younger son, and his left hand on the firstborn. Why is Manasseh's head like this? Because Brother Zhui said so. The reason, dear brothers and sisters, might seem very mysterious. At that time, Joseph brought his two sons, Ephraim and Manasseh, to see Joseph. Actually, to see Jacob. Jacob asked, "Who are these?" Joseph replied to his father, "These are the sons God has given me here." Israel said, "Please bring them to me, so I may bless them." By then, Jacob was already very old, his eyes dim and unable to see clearly. Generally, very elderly people may have dim eyes and poor vision. So Joseph brought the two boys to Jacob. Jacob kissed them both. Finally, Israel said to Joseph, "I never expected to see your face again, but God has also let me see your children." So Joseph brought his two sons to Israel's knees and bowed down with his face to the ground before Jacob. Afterward, Joseph took hold of his two sons. Ephraim was on Joseph's right, facing Israel's left hand, meaning Ephraim stood opposite Israel's left hand, so that Israel would place his left hand on the younger son's head. What about Manasseh? Was positioned opposite Israel's right hand. He wanted Israel to stretch out his right hand and lay it on Manasseh's head. Because Manasseh was the firstborn, according to custom, Manasseh, not Ephraim, should receive Israel's blessing, meaning Israel should place his right hand on Manasseh's head, because Manasseh stood on the right side. But Jacob, Israel, crossed his arms, crossing them deliberately as he blessed them. He crossed his arms so that Manasseh, this is Ephraim, received his right hand on Ephraim's head. Why did Jacob do this? At that moment, while blessing them, Jacob declared, "The God whom my grandfather Abraham and my father Isaac served, the God who has shepherded me all my life to this day, the angel who has delivered me from all harm, bless these boys. May they be called by my name, under my grandfather Abraham and my father, and let them multiply abundantly on the earth." In this way, Jacob blessed his two grandsons, incorporating them into his own lineage, Abraham under the name of Isaac. But at that moment, Joseph became displeased. He quickly said to his father, because he saw that Jacob's left hand was on Manasseh's head. Even though Manasseh was the firstborn, it should be the son of the right hand. The right hand should rest on his head. So Joseph tried to move Jacob's hand, to shift it onto Manasseh's head. But Jacob responded, saying, "No, my son, it is not so. This one is the firstborn. Please place your right hand on his head." At that moment, his father, Israel, refused. Israel said, "I know, my son. I know. Manasseh will indeed become a great nation and will flourish. It's just that his brother, his younger brother Ephraim, would become more prosperous, and his younger brother's descendants would be numerous enough to form many tribes." Thus Jacob placed Ephraim before Manasseh. For on that day Jacob blessed them, saying, "The Israelites shall invoke them in blessings. May God make you like Ephraim and Manasseh." So he placed Ephraim above Manasseh. Brother Zhu will speak today why Jacob did this, and it has to do with the names of these two children. When Joseph fathered Manasseh, Manasseh was the firstborn, and he named him Manasseh. Manasseh means to forget. Forget whom? Forget my father and my father's household. How could forgetting Israel qualify one as the firstborn? That's the meaning here. In other words, when Joseph had his firstborn son, Naming him Manasseh made him forget. For God has made me forget all my troubles and my father's household. So forgetting Israel carries this meaning. Then, when his second son was born, whom he also loved, Joseph named his second and younger son Ephraim, meaning fruitful, signifying, God has made me fruitful in the land of my affliction. Therefore, since Ephraim means fruitful or prosperous, Jacob decided to let Ephraim surpass Manasseh. While Manasseh means forgetting Israel is like forgetting God, which is unacceptable. Because Jacob Israel carried God's covenant, so he must not be forgotten. Apparently this is what Jacob had in mind. And so he resolved to place Ephraim, whose name means fruitful, though he was the younger son, ahead simply because his name was favorable, to set it up for him right there in the place of forgetting. Before Manasseh, it was like this. Thus, we have discovered that the name must be closely linked to Israel and deeply connected to God and the Lord. Only then will one receive abundant blessings. Glory be to the Father and the Lord.